Okay, so I thought it would be fun today if we made a volcano. What do you think about that? I think that sounds like a lot of fun. All right, here's what we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with 3 cups of flour. All right, and I have a bowl here. So let's pour 3 cups of flour into our bowl. All right, now I have 1 cup of salt. See how it says 1 cup? That's 1 cup. I'm gonna pour that into my bowl. All right, now I've got my flour and my salt. Now it also calls for 1 cup of water. I'm gonna pour that into my bowl. And then it calls for, our recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of oil. So this is oil. It's like cooking oil. We've used this before. Do you remember when we made our ocean in a bottle? We used oil for that. So I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons. There's 1 and 2 tablespoons of oil into our bowl. All right. And then I'm gonna take a spoon and I'm gonna mix it up. All right, I'm gonna get it all nice and mixed up. This is going to be our volcano. Now we're gonna let it dry a little bit once we get it all mixed up. I'll show you what I'm gonna do with it. Okay, so I'm gonna mix for a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, so I gave that all a good mix. I actually ended up using my hands to mix it too a little bit, and look what I got. Okay, so I have, this is kind of like clay now. So I've got a great big ball. All right, and I'm gonna put my ball, I took a cookie sheet and I put some foil on top of it. And I'm gonna take, let's see here. I'm gonna take my ball, can you see it there? And I'm gonna kind of shape it into a volcano. So a volcano kind of looks like a tall mountain, doesn't it? So I'm gonna take just a minute here and I'm gonna shape it. And you could make one at home with Mom and Dad's help. You could take 3 cups of flour, a cup of salt, and I added a little bit more than a cup of water. I added like maybe a cup and a quarter, Mom and Dad, of water because it was a little dry at first. All right, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? That looks better. Now watch what I'm gonna do. I have a little cup. You could use any kind of cup. And I'm gonna take my cup and I'm gonna put it in the center of my volcano. All right, so I'm gonna take my little cup here and I'm just gonna push it down right into the center of my volcano. Can you see it there? And then I'm gonna kind of build my volcano up around it. And then we're gonna let this dry. And then a little later, we'll be ready to see if our volcano is going to erupt. All right, we'll come back to that in just a little bit. Okay, so here's our volcano that we made. So I let it dry just a little bit. It's a little hard. Now, if we were at school, we probably would have painted this brown, but I don't have any paint at home here today. So we'll just leave it the way it is. We can use our imagination. All right, so here's what you use to make it erupt. Remember that word from our book? Erupt. That's when the magma inside the volcano gets so heated up that it works its way up and then it erupts. And what's that magma called once it comes outside? Lava, right? Okay, so here's what we're gonna use if you're gonna make one at home. We're going to take 2 tablespoons of baking soda. All right, so I'm going to put 1 tablespoon in my cup. Remember, I put a cup in there. So I'm putting it inside my cup. All right. We need 2 tablespoons of baking soda. Okay, I put that in our cup. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of red food coloring, red dye. Why do you think I'm adding that to it? Right, so it looks red like lava when it comes up. All right, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of dish soap. Okay, I'm gonna pour a little bit of that in. All right, I think that's gonna give it kind of the bubbly look. All right, the last thing I'm going to add in is 1 ounce of vinegar. So the vinegar and the baking soda forms a chemical reaction. Now that's a big word, but the two of them combine and it releases carbon dioxide, and you'll see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna pour this in slow. We're actually gonna pour it in quickly. All right, you ready? Let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Did you see it? Look at that. Our volcano erupted. That was pretty cool. What do you think about that? Can you see? It's red and it bubbled all over the side, just like a real volcano would erupt. That was pretty cool. That was fun. If you make a volcano at home, take some pictures. Send them to me. All right, super.